Welcome to Heal into Happy. I invite you to take an adventure with me into your very own universe as I guide you to go within, release your fears, and become empowered to create a life you love. I am your host, Lark Allen. My intention is to help you shine a light on everything that is keeping you from being truly free. You can expect this healing journey to be filled with love, laughter, clarity, and fun. Are you ready to take a leap of faith? Let's go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be coming back for our second season of co-creating Heaven on Earth. And today I have a guest that I'm so excited about, and I can't wait for us to discuss how this all came to be where she's on today. So welcome, Charlyn Papaccio-DiLorenzo.
Hi, Lark. Thank you.
Before we start our conversation about how this was divinely orchestrated, I want to share a little bit about you for our listeners to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
Charlyn is 58. She's a Leo. She's a mother of Allie, who is 21. She's a lover of all things beautiful. She is into holistic wellness, essential oils, crystals, yoga, sound baths, meditation, breath work, energy work, nature, animals, creating natural art projects, finding herself through movement, the sun and the moon and the stars and the cosmos. She has been a lifelong instructor in the performing arts world, specifically the genre of acrobatics, for the last 42 years. She loves to impart and cultivate a strong love for this art of acrobatics in her students, full spectrum from instructing, technical skills, creating choreography, costume design, and creating sets that are taken to both entertainment and competitive stages. She has been involved in very deep inner work and personal development intensely for the last 3 years. She is in the process of creating a program in her acrobatics performing arts classes. She teaches balancing, contortion, and tumbling and partnering, where she brings more than just teaching and technical skills. She will be bringing more breath work, energy work, heightened awareness, holistic modalities, essential oils, realization of students' divine oneness. This can be easily forgotten in the performing arts world, where a young child and younger person's self-esteem can suffer when they are not the front and center star on stage. Dealing with students, stage moms, and not getting the skills as fast as the person who has more natural raw talent, yet being mindful and finally balancing to not allow the fact that we are all special already. Everyone gets a trophy mentality as an excuse to not fulfill their highest potential. She is in her creative process, and that's exactly what led her to this very now moment where she's here with us today.
Yes.
So welcome. I love your life. I have loved watching you over the years, all of the amazing things that you have done, the way that you're so in tune with your body and how you share that with others is such a gift. And you're already co-creating Earth. So I can't wait to hear how you deepen the conversation that we're having about co-creating Earth. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Lark. So very much. And I just want to say thank you for having me on. And this is definitely a divine connection. It's funny. It's almost like it was a manifestation, because the week before I was talking with a friend, and he's so brilliant. And I was, trying to get him to maybe get involved in podcasting, because I know he would just be such a gift to the world. And so we actually looked into it like right then and there that day, and just talking about it, and maybe even myself getting into it. And then lo and behold, a couple of days later, I wake up to a voice memo from you saying, "Would you like to be on my podcast?" I was like shocked and so excited at the same time. And then I said to you, "If you don't mind me asking, what made you ask me?" And it was all because of a post I had responded to. Your Grammy was turning, I believe you said 96. Mm-hmm. And it was the same day my father was going to turn 92. And that was it. I just, your Grammy and my dad celebrating their birthdays today. And
it was their heavenly birthdays. Yeah. They're both our angels now. And we both just feel so divinely protected and loved, and they're mentoring us from their new angelic spaces. And I really feel both of them so like, I immediately read that and got the hugest urge to immediately reach out.
So right there, it's like the epitome of heaven to earth, heaven on earth. So they reached out to us from heaven to us on earth. And so here we are with this topic, heaven on earth.
Yeah. And now it's so exciting because, you're now connected with Jody, who has helped me create this whole sacred space. And, now you're going to be creating your own, and I'm going to get to be on your podcast. And it's just so activating. And I think our listeners would like to know, like, how do we even know each other? Was it 3 years ago that we did Nicole's?
Yes, it was 3 years ago. We were in a few of Nicole's online programs.
Yeah.
And through that is how we friended each other on Facebook. We corresponded via Facebook for the most part, and sometimes Messenger. And then I also became one of your clients for Monat.
Yes.
I've enjoyed those products that you've introduced me to as well. And so here we are.
Yeah. And I remember during that whole course, a big seed of awareness being planted within my heart that I would be open to activating my throat chakra and doing different things and really feeling empowered to share my healing journey. And so I love that, it's a full circle moment in that infinite loop of healing that we were there and that was planted within us. And I did it, and now you're doing it. And, I feel like definitely that was kind of the spark of it all for us.
Oh, most definitely. I have my eyes closed and I'm just really focusing on everything you're saying. And I so feel that. I see like little things right now in my mind's eye. And I just have to say really quick how just before we started recording this podcast, like a couple of minutes ago, how you were, making sure you were going to pronounce my name correctly, and how you just knew that my name is half my mother's name and half my father's name. And on your podcast rating, I have 5 stars, and just looking up like, wow, your name, I didn't know, like, Lark, that's such a beautiful name. And so I Googled what it meant, and it means songbird. And I just love that. I just had to say that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Everything is just so in alignment. And I feel like for everyone, all of our listeners, when we're really just allowing and open to receive, how much is just flowing to us. And I feel like, everything that we've just been sharing is such proof of that.
Such proof. And I'm going to tell you, prior to even just maybe 18 months ago, I used to poo-poo all this. I'm like, I would feel inklings of it, but I'll tell you, since I've really done my so-called inner engineering and my personal development work, it is real. Keeping your heart open and just working on yourself. I know it sounds so cliche, and you could roll their eyes, oh yeah, everybody saw that, but it really is. It's my truth. More and more, life is opening up. I'm more excited than ever, and I've had some really good times in my life, but right now, I'm pretty much by myself in my human design and my gene keys. This is the way it's supposed to be for me. Sometimes it feels lonely, but I've done such massive growth with myself, and it's because I'm with myself. Just wanted to say that in response to what you were just mentioning. So,
yes. Wow. Okay. Well, let's get into this. I'm so excited to hear what your answers are to these 3 questions.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Question number 1. Tell me a time that you have experienced heaven on earth.
Yeah, well, first I said to myself, what's the meaning of heaven? The meaning or interpretation of heaven can be different for everyone. So what first came to me was heaven to me is an inner and outer experience, like my inner heaven and my outer heaven, internal, external. So I'm going to start with the external, meaning like sensory experience. And so a time I've experienced heaven on earth was back in 2008. We were in Costa Rica, and this experience in my life immediately springs to mind. It's like the most beautiful experience. We were at the Arenal Volcano, which is a relatively speaking, pretty young volcano that was at the time in 2008, it was active. It's only 7,500 years old. And if you Google this place, it's called the Tabacón Hot Springs in Costa Rica. These waterfalls and hot springs are heated by the Arenal Volcano. I'm going to go so far as to say that the majority of people that are listening to this that want to actually see what I'm talking about would agree that this is literally and figuratively heaven on earth. I mean, it has levels, waterfall steps, emanating this beautiful, like ethereal mist from the water, which is heated from the volcano. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. This is like heated from the beautiful red molten lava from Mama Gaia, Mother Earth's belly, the core of planet Earth. Natural heat coming from inside the earth, just washing down over me. And Lark, when I tell you, it was just absolutely heaven on earth. The sights, the lush green foliage, green and turquoise are my favorite colors. And when I tell you, I just looking around, every shade and hue of green you could possibly imagine, these beautiful flowers and just the mist coming down, hearing the roar of the waterfalls. And then actually like looking in the distance through like the mist, which actually was like, hey, I'm in heaven. These are actually like literally clouds of these beautiful like dewdrops and water mist droplets, and seeing my mom and my daughter just basking in it. And it looked like it really, everybody's in their bathing suits. And so to me, I'm like, this looks like the Garden of Eden. Everybody looks like Adam and Eve. The women are just like almost, nothing on with their bikinis. And it was sensory overload.
Wow.
Just supported me. It was like, it's literally and figuratively heaven on earth. So moving on to like another heaven on earth sensory food, like different kinds of food. I know this might sound like food, really. And I don't consider myself a foodie, but I appreciate when something is, beautifully created and plated. And I'll never forget one time we were on a different vacation and my late husband he was an avid fisherman, and he caught a fresh wahoo and brought it back to the hotel. The chef prepared it. He said, come on, let's give it a shot. And I was a little hesitant. Oh my gosh, when I tasted this, I said, wow, what a gift. What a heavenly gift from the earth. I've never tasted something so delicious. And you're talking to someone that, doesn't really enjoy fish. This is the most lightest, heavenly, flaky white. It was just so delicious. Another one was this quiche that I tried. One of my friends had brought it, and it was like, I'm just going to say it straight out like this. It was like an orgasm in my throat when I swallowed this. Wow, this is so good. All these beautiful things. And then back to the hot springs where the animals, just like you see, 7 days of creation. On this day, the animals were created. The toucans, the quetzals, the macaws, the howler monkeys, the sloths hanging, like literally just like hanging like right around you from the trees.
Oh. Wow. I love that you're bringing this up because I truly feel that God put us in these human bodies for us to experience all of these senses. And we're not just etheric floating around angels. We get to experience taste and love and feeling and seeing and touching and
yes, heavenly experiences through your senses, through the gifts of the universe.
Yes.
I'm not going to forget to mention all the beautiful full moons, the blood moons, the strawberry moons, the blue moons that I've seen and just stood down on earth looking up. The one shooting star I saw a few years back, just like took my breath away. I was like, oh my God, the sunsets. Also, I want to say right now, my daughter's 21. She's a junior in college. She's studying to be a veterinarian because she just, all the exposure to animals, and her dad and myself, you can't miss. You're just going to love animals. Just witnessing her thriving and being happy in her college experience right now, I feel very, very, it feels like heaven, because when your child is struggling, and it's okay, believe me, she's had her struggles too. She comes through very well. It feels heavenly to me. It feels like heaven on earth to see her thriving and balancing out her life with her studies, with her athletics, and, having fun at the same time. So it's a full spectrum experience for her. So that really makes me happy. So like I said just before, dividing the heaven and earth, external senses. And now, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but I'm going to go internal. And heaven on earth for me, since COVID, I've had a lot more time to really go deep into personal development and unlocking me, getting to know myself feels heavenly, because like exploring nature's terrain, there are so many levels. Dig deep, dig deep, dig deep. You see the dirt, you keep digging deeper. Wow, there's a crystal cave underneath here. Oh, wow, there's a selenite cave. Like, I feel like that's what I'm discovering. So for me, it's heaven on earth, and it's not easy work. It's pain. I'm not going to make it like it's all great. It is. The end result is, but it's not easy work. It's painful. It's messy. It's sometimes bitter pill to swallow. But since I'm unlocking me, and it's where it's where I put my biggest investments, both in time and monetary, energetic exchange. Getting to know me more and more has been heaven on earth. And through that, getting to know me more, I'm unlocking my soul's purpose. In turn, serve others the way I'm meant to, and then create, hopefully, the ripple effect, domino effect in other people, being the example of that. Giving, in other words, the quote unquote, giving others permission to do the same thing just feels great. Feels heavenly.
Yes, you are such an important key for all of us. We all are. That's something that I share about so much on my podcast. And you totally unlocking your full potentiality and just doing it all is such a gift to all of us. So all of us really feeling into that and realizing that we have so much to give, and then just going out there and doing it is such a huge part of co-creating heaven on earth.
Right. And the part of quote unquote, just going out there and doing it, it sounds so easy. But for most of us, myself here, yours truly included, it can be a struggle because I've had so much in me that I've wanted to put out, but I hide from myself. I'm in my own way, so just finally clearing the obstacles, clearing out, the brush to see, to see the horizon. It's like a deep breath. It's like a breath of fresh air. So yes.
Our mess is our biggest message. And so you unraveling all of that and then finding your voice to share how that's been the biggest thing for you is exactly what all of your listeners will need to hear, because that's exactly where they are. And you're the one that has the key to help them unlock their own door because you were able to unlock yours.
Yes. Passing on the key. Here, I open mine here, and then just go through that door and now pass on the key with your own special combination and your own special little etching of how the key's supposed to go and to fit it into your own special lock. And then, the doors keep opening. And, in this ever expanding universe, more doors open. So when we help others open their doors, it's like, the exponential effect, right? So it's just.
Yeah. And every time that one of us do it, it makes it easier for the next one. And that really lights me up too, because we want it to become easier and easier and easier so that, we're all out there just shining as bright as we possibly can.
Right.
Okay. Here is question number 2. Here's a magic wand. And with this magic wand, you can create heaven on earth. What is heaven on earth for you?
Okay. So heaven on earth, to me, one of the biggest things is helping other people truly see that they are divinity. And I struggled with this. I don't know if it's the idea, the concept, the truth of it, didn't understand it. And I finally do understand it. And I know there's a lot more that's going to unfold with that, but especially like with my students. I mean, that's pretty much what I work with, but the moms, the families, the trickle down effect of that, helping others to see their divinity, oneness, and that they are a masterpiece. When you look at a painting and you look at that bottom right-hand corner or the back where the artist signs, this is number 22 of 348, copies of this. Every single one of us go inside, turn around. You're one of one, not to ever be repeated again. So that's the main thing for me. Yes. I don't know any other way to say it. To me, if everybody could just realize that, magic wand, wave it and just know you're so special. You really are.
Yes, I totally agree. It is a huge part of creating heaven on earth. And I believe that that is what you're going to bring to the table as you're deepening your desire to share with the world beyond your students, and everyone will become your student and you'll have so much to offer. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah. And I just have to say, there's another little flip side to that where for me, yes, I finally see that I am special, as every single one of 7.8 billion of us that are alive on this planet as we speak right now are. But I find that frustrating. And I'll say I find it frustrating because my process of knowing what is my special gift, what is my purpose. I know some of it, and maybe I'm trying too hard. Maybe I'm searching too strong. Maybe I just got to chill out, let it go, find out what else is it. And, maybe this is it. I don't know if that's making any sense.
Yeah, it's really about just putting one foot in front of the other and doing the right next best thing. And, just authentically going out there and sharing our journey. And then it builds and builds and builds. I've really felt that with my podcast. Like I did my first season, I put it out there. And then this whole second season has just been me putting my foot right in front of the next one and just knowing my intention was to help all of us anchor in more happiness and really start feeling into why not? Why not co-create heaven on earth? And then all of these beautiful things are happening along the way, like you finding your voice. I mean, that's the hugest victory in the world. So,
you know what? It really feels like it to me because as a child that was, I'm going to say, painfully shy. I was a good student and always on the back of my report card would be, Charlyn is a pleasure to have in class, but, she really needs to participate more. And I always got that. And it was like such a struggle for me because I wanted to, but I was afraid to literally hear my voice. I was afraid to get made fun of. And I didn't have any reason to believe that because I was never really made fun of. I was always accepted pretty much by everyone. But I was just like mute, like afraid to give the wrong answer, that's everybody. I mean, that's so many people. So this is such a gift. Better late than never. Would I have liked it to happen at like age 18 or 25 or 42 or 50? No, it's happening now more and more. So better late than never.
You are going to be able to inspire everyone. It doesn't matter when it happens. It's always divine timing. And you're going to be able to inspire so many people, especially in your age range that maybe thought, okay, well, I didn't end up doing the things that I was meant to do. I guess it's just not for me in this lifetime. To inspire everyone, it is in this now moment. Do it now.
Yes, now. Exactly. That's the key. Now, the now moments, which is part of my answer for the next question.
Okay, let's move into number 3. What simple, easy, concrete step will you take in the next 24 hours to make heaven on earth real?
So for a good number of months, maybe even I'll go so far as to say the last whole year, I've been getting to become better at being in the now moments. And we've all heard this. It truly is all you've got. So there's that saying that most of us have heard. It's a rhyme, and I like that. The past is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Right now is a gift. And that's why it's called the present. And when you can be present, the little creations are like microcosms that you can create. For instance, staying in the now, like I create these little beautiful spots in my house. I'll arrange, I'll put fresh flowers, crystals, and I'll try to indulge as much pleasure within that moment as I can, to feel good physically, which helps me delve deeper. When you feel physically at ease and fulfilled and just free and light, you can do so much more. And everybody's just so revved up about what they have to do next and blah, 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 and blah, blah. And I get it. It's a busy world and you've got duties you have to fulfill, kids, jobs, and all that. But if you could really just cultivate staying in the present moment, everything is energy. We're energetic beings with frequency, the aura, the field around us. I work on staying mindful, conscious of all my thoughts and actions. And it spills over onto others, I find, without a doubt. What can we do in the next 24 hours to make heaven on earth real? Go out. When you step outside your door, this is very common, like almost common sense, common knowledge. Smile at someone, pay for someone, hold the door open. You're on the highway. Let that person get in front of you. Don't speed up, show kindness, give a compliment, keep your heart open. Without exception, when I do all this, everyone around me, I could see them rising. And this could sound like, here's my ego getting in the way. But when I see other people rise around me and you just know it's your presence and just not making it about me, but it just feels so darn good when like people want to be around you, like people, like I was doing a master class yesterday and the day before. And, my students, I felt them like coming towards me, and it just feels so good. People pass that on, if you've had a kindness shown to you, pass it on. That's what I can say, just keeping your emotional state up, high up in the vibrational scale as best as you can, and breathe, stay in the moment, breathe. I know I'm random jumping. I'm getting all these thoughts. So, okay, she's going all over the place here. That's how I am sometimes.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Ricocheting off this wall, onto that wall, down, up to the ceiling.
I love it. Mm-hmm. So many good things, so many pearls of wisdom for people to take away.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I realize a lot of what I'm saying, people have heard before, but my experience is I listen to so many podcasts and I listen to lots of different ones. And, sometimes it can be the way one person says what you've heard maybe 10 or 15 times prior, but it's just the way they said it, that it just resonates more and it lands. So I hope there's little pearls that have come out of my mouth today.
I love it. It's been such a pleasure. And I am really excited to end up being on your podcast and then for you to come back on to Heal into Happy as that is progressing and we can promote your podcast and its launch and you sharing that experience of where you are today and then where you are in that future now moment and everything that you've learned and your huge takeaways of that activation that you're about to experience.
Thank you, Lark. And I want to say the title of your podcast, Heal into Happy, with the beautiful violet infinity sign, which look like angel wings. I have to say, the more I look at it, the more it's so much my truth, because people can realize healing really brings you into happiness. That transition stage, the right word is the synapse, when one jumps to the next little cell, that little transition period, that can be, maybe scary, quote unquote, murky, ugly, but boy, when you get to the other side, you definitely will heal into happiness.
Yes. All right. Thank you. And everyone, until next time, Charlyn and I are offering you so much love and so much light.
So much love and light. And that's really all there is. Thank you, Lark. I love you. And thank you for having me. And bye, everybody.
Thank you. I love you too. Thank you for joining me today on Heal into Happy. My prayer is that you have gained more insight into your healing journey and that you are one step closer to loving yourself more fully in this now moment. And if you could do me a favor, please leave me a 5-star review over on iTunes. My passion is empowering others on their healing journey, and with your review, you may help others struggling to heal find this message. Be sure to visit me at healintohappy.com for past episodes and more ways to connect with me. Also, please always remember that I am offering you so much love and light as I celebrate the divine sovereign being that I see in you.